Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy. So click the link in the video description and I'll take you right to my page. What's up, guys? I got a very exciting team as always today. Maybe one you've seen a little bit before. We have the fabled triple counter team that I came up with a couple of seasons ago. Shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's get right into the video. This is a team that I'm sure most of you have either played against or even tried yourself. It was a team that I originally made before Deoxys Defense was more widely available. So I think there was another spike in popularity when this team got picked. Right now I'm seeing a lot of steel types, so decided to try it out again. It is an ABB team. This is 3 Pokemon with the fast move counter, but none of them are fighting types, so a ton of fighting damage without the fighting liability. The fast move pressure from all these Pokemon keeps Vashon kind of useless versus the whole team. And Galarian Stunfisk essentially is checked by the whole team as well, and those are probably 2 of the most common Pokemon in the meta here. This works as an ABB team. Vigoroth, it's double normal, so Vigoroth baits out the fighting type. The Deoxys defense is usually perfect at taking out. Obstagoon can usually sweep up the back without that fighting type there anymore. And this team also has the ability to, instead of switching right away like you normally would out of your lead in an ABB team, you have the ability to throw Psycho Boost and swap out and clear that debuff for your Deoxys defense. It's just nice and set up that way. As far as move sets go, I think Thunderbolt is strongly preferred here on Deoxys over Rock Slide. You need Psycho Boost for sure to deal with Nidoqueen and Venusaur. Thunderbolt is very useful for Azu, as it's kind of your main Azu check as well. Vigoroth will be drawing a lot of those, just so Obstagoon doesn't have to deal with them. As far as Obstagoon goes, we're gonna run Cross Chop and Night Slash. I like Cross Chop here because if someone swaps into a G-Fisk on Deoxys, and this happens a decent amount because they might recognize the team right away, you can swap in Obstagoon. It's much better than Vigoroth here because of access to Cross Chop. Vigoroth only has access to Brick Break, which is a terrible move. So, and you want to run Bulldoze for the coverage so you can hit Ghost types as well, which Obstagoon doesn't have a problem hitting, obviously, with that Dark type Night Slash. Yeah, so in this game, we're just finishing up the Swampert right here with a nice little Psycho Boost. And keep it going. The reason I haven't run this team more in the past as well was because I graduated all those videos you guys have seen in my Ultra League teams. That Obstagoon was my Great League Obstagoon, and now I finally built another one, so I can run Obstagoon again in the Great League. Very happy about that. We have Jellicent lead. This one's a bit tricky. I probably should have swapped right away, but instead I decide to shield my lead here. You want to keep your lead healthy in ABB. They shield up anyways. We're gonna throw the Thunderbolt, kind of hoping they don't shield. And I'm going to try and catch a Shadow Ball here, but they don't throw, and in comes Altaria. This is an interesting matchup. Vigoroth is actually your best answer to Altaria, so it's very good to be seeing it on your Vigoroth instead. As long as you spend, well, you can win the 2 shield, no problem. In this case, I don't have 2 shields to spend, so I'm just going to let my Vigoroth take that damage. I'm not sure if it's my IVs or not, but my Vigoroth is going to get to 3 Body Slams here. I think this might be normal. But in this case, this means with the energy advantage that I got off of that Jellicent, because Hex does no damage, I'm able to win the 0 shield versus Altaria and force them to shield. I'm going to come back in with my Deoxys, and right now I'm just looking to sponge up this Altaria. We're going to take all this damage. I'm going to farm up a little bit more. I tried to farm down, I realized quickly that that's not going to happen. I'm going to throw this Psycho Boost before they get to another Sky Attack. But we're going to be swapping out right away anyways. Have that Psycho Boost stored for later, and in comes Galarian Stunfisk. So this is exactly what you want to see. Altaria was their only real answer to Obstagoon. Obstagoon, one of those rare fighting types that beats both Jellicent and, not fighting types, or one of those rare Pokemon that beats both Jellicent and Galarian Stunfisk. They go for the bait play. I call the bait, and we're going to shield up here. I know this Jellicent does not have Ice Beam, so there's no point saving a shield for that. Even though I know it's a Rock Slide, it's better to spend the shield on whatever's going to do more damage. I'm going to throw Night Slashes here. They're just going to keep Bubble Beaming. And the goal here is maybe to be able to farm all the way down, or at least to have a couple of moves. I farm it to 2 moves. We're going to throw the Psycho Boost at the Jellicent. Take it out before I have to take another Bubble Beam. And then we're going to throw the Psycho Boost here at the Galarian Stunfisk. Just need to make sure the Galarian Stunfisk is in Cross Chop range, just in case, because it will have a move after my Obstagoon comes back in. But obviously, Obstagoon's going to win CMP tie here versus G-Fisk, as it is the bulkier. Nope. As G-Fisk is the bulkier Pokemon. So Obstagoon will have a higher attack stat and therefore be able to win. Alright, and that was with a not favorable lead, right? That's a Jellicent lead. Very tough game. Next game, Pidgeot lead. We're going to stay in a little bit here. They go into Jellicent, and this is where you'd love to see Jellicent. Jellicent on the swap in. Obstagoon, this is Obstagoon's job to handle for sure. Hex Jellicent has no play against Obstagoon. There's no shield scenario, realistically, that they can trick you into losing. Even if they have Ice Beam here, you can tank 2 Ice Beams pretty comfortably. So my goal is to charge up quite a bit. I'm going to throw the Night Slash here. I'm not going to take them out. But what I have done here is set up an opportunity for myself to farm this Jellicent down and bring all of this energy into the next matchup. So just punching that pillow. It's like beating down that those clowns that always get back up or whatever. This time it didn't though. Pidgeot comes back in. We're going to throw the good timing on both my Night Slashes in the middle of their move. They are going to get a farm here, which is kind of unfortunate. And I get the boost right at the end. Obviously, you always get the boost when you don't need it. I'm going to come back with Deoxys, then come in with Medicham. And I almost swapped, but that would have been a very bad swap. This is exactly where I want to see this Medicham. Deoxys can handle it pretty well. I guess the problem is if this is a Power-Up Punch Medicham instead, they can technically just throw Power-Up Punches and win the 2-shield. But because it's Ice Punch Medicham, this matchup is not too bad. I will have to shield, I know, and they've already shielded once, so I don't feel too bad about that. But I'm going to throw Thunderbolt here, and then I'm going to start charging up to some Psycho Boosts, because I know that they outpace you to Ice Punches, but they don't outpace you to Psycho Boosts. So I'm going to throw a bit early before I have to shield, just so I don't get caught in a shields down scenario versus this Pidgeot. I'm going to take out the Medicham and come in with the Vigoroth, and it should be all over here. I still have a shield on Vigoroth. Even if they had shielded that move on their Medicham, I likely would have been able to make it to another Psycho Boost, so instead we just have a shields down scenario, and Vigoroth would be able to KO with a Body Slam, I think, or Pidgeot gets to a Brave Bird, but it would be close. See, we have Venusaur. Venusaur lead, kind of tough. That Poison type resist encounter, obviously not ideal, but Poison type does take super effective damage from Psycho Boost. I'm going to shield the first Frenzy Plant to keep my Deoxys healthy. I'm going to throw at 9 because I think a lot of people try and catch at 10. But someone caught me at 9, so I might have to change up my strategy yet again. It's not the counters that deal a lot of damage, so throwing the Psycho Boost a bit early doesn't matter. And I throw the second Psycho Boost here just to get some damage off on this Venusaur. Put it in almost farm down range for Vigoroth. We will have to spend a shield, of course, if I want to do that. They make a great catch onto their Stunfisk. This Body Slam, because unfortunately I would have been able to threaten the Bulldoze otherwise and grab a shield. Instead, I'm going to have to let my Vigoroth go down. I'm going to come into the more solid answer here. If this G-Fisk was maybe at 50% HP instead, going with the Deoxys is great because I would be able to farm down. But in this case, I'm just trying to get a big farm with my Obstagoon. I'm going to spend my last shield on an Earthquake there because my goal is to farm all the way down. I want to be able to KO this Venusaur before it gets a Frenzy Plant off. So Venusaur comes back in, and I've got almost 3 Night Slashes loaded. So one will take the shield. The second one, they got their move through, so I was a bit scared they'd win CMP against me if they were to move there. But no worries, we're able to get that next Night Slash off, and this is how this team wins. There's the Bastion on the back. So this Venusaur double steal team, if you see a lot of it, this team is essentially free wins against it. So if you do play this team, I'm very sorry about that. But yeah, that's kind of what this whole team was predicated on. 3 counter users kind of push Bastion on teams out of the meta here, and this is a pretty straightforward game. You really do have to worry about the Venusaur. The Venusaur beats the whole team in the one shield, so it's all about, it's kind of a team effort to take down that Venusaur. But once you do it, then Bastion is kind of useless. Obstagoon lead, that's where we want to see it as well. The entire team's actually pretty good against Obstagoon. In comes Skarmory. We can go for the Thunderbolt here. I probably should have switched out to my Vigoroth. But now that I swapped out a little bit late, I'm going to have to blow a shield here. And they bait me even, so they're going to get to another move. Just a Sky Attack, but still. taking damage on the Vigoroth for no reason. In comes Obstagoon. I think they realize there's no place for this Obstagoon to go. They're going to try and farm down my Vigoroth, but if they start letting through Body Slams like that, this farm down scenario is not going to go the way that they had planned. Yeah, and they're just trying to soak up energy. I swap to my Deoxys as soon as they come with Nidoqueen. A little bit slow. I was not expecting them to switch into Nidoqueen here. I go for the Earth Power, which is a bit scary, but I'm going to be able to get this Psycho Boost off. Yeah, and I'm going to faint right on my move of this game. So well played by my opponent. The slow swap honestly cost me quite a bit. No shield this one as well. Poison Fang bait. Gonna get to a Night Slash here. And then hopefully I can make it to one more Night Slash, because I'll definitely need the damage. So I swap to try and catch. Success. But at the same time, and to clear the debuff, but at the same time, I really do need to get to, yeah, Night Slash there. And they make a great catch back. So well played by my opponent. I full charge the Night Slash because I think that they're at a move on their Obstagoon as well. So I actually do need to take it out. And I wouldn't be able to farm back a full Night Slash. But we're going to lose that game. But that's just one loss in the set. Some pretty big gains here. Like I said, still recovering from Master League. Rating where you only have 2 legendaries total. And one of them kind of gets forced out by Zacian. Anyway, so Galarian Stunfisk lead, also a very important one to play in a certain way. I'm going to just tank this rock or Earthquake here. Build up a ton of energy with those super effective counters and then swap out. In comes Venusaur, so I'm going to try my best to take this Venusaur out here. I'm actually surprised they didn't come in with Sableye. I'm assuming it's a Sableye in the back if it's Galarian Stunfisk lead. I get to this Body Slam before they throw their Frenzy Plant, make them make a decision on whether or not they want to shield. In this case, because I think there's a Sableye in the back, I think I don't shield. I think I'm just going to assume that Obstagoon can kind of sweep this team. I'm going to come in with the Deoxys. I know they're at a move almost, so I don't feel bad about throwing the Psycho Boost right away. If they let it go down, they do. And then we're going to swap right away into this this Obstagoon. I think the reason they didn't switch in that way is because they wanted to save their Sableye for the Deoxys defense. But unfortunately, this Deoxys defense is worth nothing to me. Worth nothing. It's all about Obstagoon here. I'm going to no-shield the first one because they have high incentive to bait. If they went straight return, it'd be a pretty scary game if I didn't shield it. But at the same time, I do have 2 shields now. It's likely just a Rock Slide, but they throw the Earthquake this time, and that's all she wrote. We're going to be able to farm down there and throw the Night Slash at the Sableye, is the win condition there. Yeah, Obstagoon, honestly, I feel like is very slept on in Great League even. It just has a really good moveset. Sableye lead, obviously we're getting out of this one. Go straight into Vigoroth. In comes Air Slash Mandibuzz. And Vigoroth outpaces Mandibuzz by quite a bit, especially the Air Slash version. It's an all version, I think you win every shield scenario. Air Slash, I feel like it might depend on how many shields you spend, but I feel like the more shields you spend with Vigoroth, the better. So it's imperative that we win switch advantage, not at all costs. We don't want to go 2 shields down, but even with a shield disadvantage, it's definitely worth it. We're going to get to this next Body Slam before they get to their next foul play as well. So it looks like we will win this 0 shield. Oh, no, we won't. Okay. Yeah, we will. I lied, and Sableye comes back in. Going to build up to that Bulldoze. No reason to throw a Body Slam. We need to force them to throw foul play as opposed to just counter or Shadow Clawing all the way down. Bring in the Goon, and we have to hope that Deoxys can handle whatever is in the back here. I was a bit worried about catch, but so far it's 2 dark types, so I was a bit scared for Deoxys. I was honestly very scared that this was going to end up being a triple dark team, but in comes Azumarill. Great catch. I was throwing right away, very predictable. So they bring their Azumarill, and Azumarill versus Deoxys is a very interesting matchup. It used to be very Deoxys, not very Deoxys favored, but Deoxys favored, but with XL Azu, Azu's kind of turned the tides. Azu technically wins the 1 shield, but the goal here isn't to take the Azu out. It's to get it low enough that the Obstagoon can deal with it. So I'm going to throw this Psycho Boost before I even get to the Thunderbolt. I need to get this move off before they throw. I'm going to let Deoxys go down. They throw the play rough. Oh no, will I get there? Yeah, not going to quite get there. But I will have to shield here on my Goon. the play rough, so I know I can't shield anything from the Sableye. I need to take it down before it gets to a return. I get the attack boost. I don't think it was necessary here. I don't think it was necessary. But it might have been. I do think I still have a decent amount of time to counter this Azu down, but we're just going to throw this Night Slash here. And after it's boosted, it's definitely going to take the Azu down. So a little bit of points for Flare from that boost, and we get the other one. Oh, there we go. Double boost, exactly right when you don't need it. But that's been the name of the game with Obstagoon in general. Sometimes it does save you the game, though, I will say. You're just not here. Deoxys lead against Venusaur. Once again, we're going to have the same play. Unfortunately, I lag a turn at the beginning, so there's no way I'm going to sneak a move through on their move. Going to shield the Frenzy Plant. Try and keep Deoxys healthy. It probably has to play a pretty big role in this game. I'm going to throw at 8 this time. Switch it up. And I'm going to throw the second Psycho Boost as well. Once again, they'll let it through. It seems like Venusaur players are always letting through the second Psycho Boost. Going to tank up this Frenzy Plant. And in comes the Medicham, so this is where we wanted to see it as well. Unfortunately, Deoxys is not full HP. Okay, but we get the Body Slam through, so it's about equal HP, even though this Medicham has a little bit of an energy advantage. And with only one shield, it's very tough for them to Power Up Punch the way down. But because it's a Medicham in the back, I'm kind of thinking it's probably a Bastiodon at this point. Medicham and Bastiodon are a good pair. So I do have that hope in the back that that my Obstagoon will have a very easy matchup there once I manage to take out the Medicham. So I'm going to go for the Psycho Boost, CMP tie. Obstagoon can handle that much HP on a Medicham. So we're just going to come in with the Obstagoon and try and take it out. Instead, it's a G-Fisk. So misread the play. This game is not as easy as it was going to be. They let through the Cross Chop though, which does make it a little bit easier. I had to no shield the first one, which is a Rock Slide. Throw this Cross Chop. Obviously burn their last shield here. And then shield up whatever this is. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, because they didn't charge up to the Earthquake. So anyways, instead of shielding there, because I'm kind of worried the Medicham has a move, just gonna... Wait, did I play that really bad? Sorry, I did. I didn't even realize the first playthrough. I really should have shielded the Rock Slide, because then I have a Night Slash to throw at the Medicham. Wow, that's a misplay. Oh, this game. Alright, so Malamar switching. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know what Malamar did. I didn't really know its typing. I've never seen it before. So I threw Psycho Boost, triple resisted at Malamar. Don't do that. If Malamar comes in, I really think you have to go into Vigoroth right away, because it's your hardest hitter. And it's going to start pressuring those shields. Superpower, I think after it's debuffed a little bit, might not one-shot, but I think Body Slam with enough counters will. So as long as you spend enough shields, you can guarantee switch advantage here, but I butchered this game so badly. I don't even want to watch this back. Like, with the last game, it was helpful. I realized my mistake. I'm hopefully learn from it, but... Oh, boy. Yeah, Malamar completely caught me off guard. Versus Malamar switching definitely straight into Vigoroth. And because of Malamar stripping both my shields and leaving Obstagoon low, I'm vulnerable to Brave Bird from Skarmory. And I make a misplay here. Trying to throw the Psycho Boost too late, not looking at my own HP and get taken down. So this just shows everyone makes mistakes. I guess we just leave that in there as a everyone makes mistakes category. But I should have very easily been able to win that game. Either way, we gotta save this set now because I made 2 misplays in a row. In comes Azumarill on Cofagrigus. They swapped in kind of late. So at this point, I'm thinking my only win condition here is that I have to take switch advantage back from this Azumarill. So I guess regardless of what this Azumarill is throwing, I will be shielding twice. And I'm throwing my moves with good timing, but as soon as I can, I'm not just storing a bunch of energy for no reason. I want to get these moves out because I need them to shield so that they can't make the play where they just force 2 shields from me. And that's it, because Obstagoon into Cofagrigus is great. But you kind of want not a 2 shield disadvantage. I'm going to throw this Body Slam here if we get their last shield, or if they just let it go down, get their last shield, and we get to this next Body Slam for them as well. Hopefully this will take them out, and if not, leave them within a counter or 2 of going down. And now we have the coveted Cofagrigus versus Obstagoon matchup. They're going to throw a Shadow Ball here. Interesting. I was wondering if it was single moved or something like that. Or if they were just trying to farm down my Vigoroth knowing that I can't switch out. Either way, Vigoroth is actually starting to deal a decent amount of damage here. I don't get my Body Slam off, but honestly it doesn't matter. And we don't even get to see what's in the back. So, probably Bastion or something. Or G-Fisk. Yeah, Obstagoon breaks another core. Three wins out of 5, but honestly, the Malamar game I would love back, and I did make a pretty big mistake in the other game that I didn't realize until now. Yeah, I definitely should have shielded Rock Slide. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, Venusaur lead. Very common nowadays. Either with this Venusaur double steal or the Venusaur Sableye G-Fisk team. We're gonna play this the same way, but they catch at 9. These guys been watching. They've been watching the videos. But because they swap hard into Stunfisk, I'm not too upset about this. If they catch a move on a Pokemon that I have a great matchup against, and I would much rather have my Obstagoon on the Stunfisk because of Cross Chop than I would my Vigoroth. So having that matchup is absolutely great for me. I'm already down a shield because of the Frenzy Plant on the Deoxys, but hopefully I'm able to deal some significant damage to this Venusaur with my Obstagoon, with the energy that I gained out of that G-Fisk matchup. So even though I did get my move caught there, I'm able to make that back and more on the Venusaur. They're finally forced to throw. And my Deoxys is one away from a move. They catch another one. And I played this game on stream, and I was like, you know what? I want them to catch my move here, because I want them to bring out this Bastion. Because as soon as they bring out the Bastion, it's game over. Their chance here was to just play Venusaur, taking down everything. At this point, I'm going to live with Stone Edge. We're going to swap with 2 Psycho Boost loaded, which is enough to take down this Venusaur. And then my Vigoroth is going to come in and just farm all the way down. So we're going to have 4 moves loaded for this Venusaur. Even if my opponent had 3 shields at this point, this game is over. And they caught 2 moves. So essentially, I have 6 extra moves. Or I should have had 6 extra moves. Advantage over, and that's charge move advantage over this Venusaur Double Steel team. It's a very, very solid counter against this team. There's not too much they can do to wiggle out of it. Like I said, that's the issue when Bastion becomes a little bit of a liability. All right, Venusaur again. Wow, is this Venusaur C? This time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw at 8. Everyone's catching at 9. We actually CMP tie. Gonna shield up the Frenzy Plant. Throw another one of these Psycho Boosts. Go up to 10 and just throw that Psycho Boost right away. No one's caught the second one for some reason. Maybe they expect me to swap. By the way, in comes Diggersby. I was like, this is not a Vigoroth answer. And at this point, with Diggersby, it's probably either Bastion or G-Fisk in the back. But this version is actually a pretty solid answer to Vigoroth. So I didn't realize that. But Diggersby wins the 0 shield versus Vigoroth. That's insane. That's a super effective counter damage. So unfortunately, I'm not able to keep switch, but I know my Obstagoon can kind of handle the Venusaur at that HP anyways, and I know I need the shield to deal with the Stunfisk. At this point, I think Obstagoon is my go-to, so we're going to swap out, and in comes Pelipper. Not the Pokemon I was expecting. This is still kind of a hard matchup. But as long as I sneak in more moves than them, or the same amount because I have that energy advantage, it should be fine. He denies my move. I don't get any moves in here. We're going to shield the Weather Ball. I really just need to shield the Hurricane. And they get a move through there. So this is very important. I had a 1 counter advantage. Now that advantage is 0. And Pelipper wins CMP versus Obstagoon. So because they snuck a move through and I didn't, which maybe they fast move deny better than I, or they live in closer to the servers than I do, I had to farm up a little bit. We're going to no bubble, hit none of these bubbles on the Psycho Boost, farm it down and get to the next Psycho Boost and take him out is what I was dreaming about. But instead we're going to lose. So unfortunately a move sneak in where I didn't get one on 2 moves ended up being the deciding factor. Hypno lead, we're going to swap into Vigoroth. A lot of the time this is double dark, so we'd be baiting out the Scrafty here. In this case, they're not switching, which makes me kind of believe it's not gonna no shield. They did not even go up to Psychic, so we're gonna eat this Fire Punch, no problem. Throw another Body Slam, which I believe they also take. Yeah, and then they're gonna be able to barely take me out. They have to throw energy though, so this is free energy for whichever Pokemon I decide to bring back in. We're gonna wait the switch timer because my switch is on cooldown, theirs isn't. Come in with Deoxys, get 2 free counters, and in comes Sableye. Time to come in with the Obstagoon, so this is what I expected. Double Dark in the back. I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring Sableye into the Vigoroth, but I know that matchup can kind of go either way. Instead, going to shield an Aqua Tail. They're running Aqua Tail Drapion as well. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking they're running Aqua Tail Crunch, so I'm probably not going to shield anymore. They did shield again though, which makes me a bit nervous, but it's likely that they just were trying to scare me. Another Aqua Tail comes through, and because this Aqua Tail comes through so fast, I'm likely just going to be able to farm this thing down. Obstagoon does not really care too much about Sableye's fast move damage. So we're going to start throwing these Night Slashes. We're going to hope for the boost, but expect the worst, which is no boost. I'm going to swap into Deoxys to try and catch a move. At this point, they didn't throw. It doesn't matter too much. They throw now. But they're either going to have to throw 2 Foul Plays or eat this Thunderbolt. And they're not surviving the Thunderbolt. And Drapion will come back in and doesn't have enough HP to deal with both Deoxys and Obstagoon. So we're going to be able to win that one as well. Hypno lead, kind of tough. Don't see a lot of Hypno leads though, I'll say. But still swap right in. I think people are starting to get a little bit more creative. There's less Scrafty in the back. It's more just Hypno Double Dark of a different kind. Here we have a Charm Ninetales. So Charm, kind of scary to the back line. This is Deoxys' job. This is one of the few times you won't swap out of your lead at all at any point in the game, is versus Charm Ninetales. So we're going to shield up, match shields here. We're going to throw with good timing, build up to the 2 Psycho boosts, and throw. We need to land at least one of them. And then I'm going to swap to Vigoroth. I actually do end up swapping out this lead anyways, to save my Deoxys, just in case they have a Medicham or something like that. Luckily, they don't. It'd be weird, right? Because A9 is their fighting counter, so Medicham is usually used as a fighting counter as well. It'd be a bit of a weird team comp for them to have in the back, but they might. Swampert is going to be able to take out Vigoroth here, or an even shields though. I do have a Psycho Boost loaded on my Deoxys, so we're going to throw that right away. The Swampert is almost at their next move. So we're going to be able to take them down, and in comes Stunfisk. As soon as I'm able to switch, I'm going to go into Obstagoon, and this matchup is as good as done at this point. In the one shield, they can bait you. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they successfully land the Earthquake. They come in with their A9. They can't get a single charm off because they're too low, and then just shield up whatever is left, and just farm all the way down. Yeah, so Charm lead. You can deal with Charmers with this team as well. Vigoroth's not too bad at dealing with them. Usually Vigoroth will bring in the Charmer as well. Charmers can kind of force that win, but we have Shadow Skuntank. Pretty great for the backline, not so great for Deoxys defense. So we're going to swap out right away into Vigoroth, and they don't switch, which is once again a good sign for the team. If they stand with their lead against Vigoroth, it's usually a very good sign. I'm going to shield because Shadow Skuntank's moves deal a ton of damage. They come in with the Sableye, and I think I'm still outside foul play range, so I can throw this Bulldoze, which they shield. So that could even shields. This is where we want to be. Gonna tank up. It's foul play. Yeah, a little bit too low. Gonna throw the Body Slam. This damage might actually matter, so gonna throw it this time. Vigoroth gonna go down. Gonna come in with the Goon. I'm gonna shield. A lot of people don't bait return anymore. And then they come in with Swampert. Gonna throw one of these Night Slashes. If it boosts, I'm gonna stay in. But it doesn't, so instead gonna try and make a catch onto Deoxys. They don't bite, but it doesn't really matter too much. They're gonna have to throw this energy anyways, lest they let Deoxys take them out. I didn't count very well, but at the same time, I don't want Deoxys to win this matchup. If Deoxys wins this matchup, then it's going to get farmed down by the Sableye. I throw Psycho Boost once I get to 2, so I can stall the clock with my second Psycho Boost and deal some damage to the Sableye, but it's fine to lose CMP here. I'm going to get this energy advantage on their Sableye instead of the other way around, because I cannot let this guy get to a return. As long as I prevent him from getting to a return, I just throw these Night Slashes, it's all good. I throw my next Night Slash, and it's all over but the Skuntank, I guess. Very close game though. Yeah, so that's a triple counter team, just some 3 quick sets, and by quick I mean they're still definitely longer than the charm team, but the team still does work. It's still a lot of fun. I'll help you keep those G-Fisk and Bastions at bay. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. Some solid gains. Looking forward to Halloween Cup, which is starting in a couple minutes for me. Very excited about that, and I hope to be able to provide you guys with some good Halloween Cup content coming up, but that of course is dependent on how successful the teams are I end up running. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and if you need to all the links are in the description for all my socials and stuff like that if you want to follow along. But yeah, thanks for watching.